First off, we'll start with introduction and some background on the proposed airport in Pickering, Ontario. A needs assessment study was done and concluded that we would need a new airport around 2027 to 2037 to meet the increasing demand in air travel. The Pickering lands is about 7,500 hectares of land acquired by the Government of Canada to build this airport. The halted project was confirmed by the previous federal finance minister to be continued in the future, confirming the construction of an airport in Pickering. The city of Pickering finally welcomed an airport to act as a catalyst for economic growth and job creation. However, based on the environmental, social, and economic impacts, we believe an airport should not be built in Pickering. There are also many viable alternatives that will help meet the increase in demand for air travel.
The proposed airport would also have significant environmental impacts, which include noise pollution due to the sound of the airplanes, air pollution because there would be increase in greenhouse gas emissions, which could potentially hinder our ability to abide by the Paris Climate Accord, and water pollution due to possible contamination from the runoff from the airport, especially during the de-icing of airplanes into the Duffins watershed, which could affect our drinking water and aquatic life. In addition, the proposed area for the airport has been found to have a Class 1 soil that is excellent for farming, and Class 1 soils have no significant limitations in use for crops, which means a wide variety of crops could be planted there. So a proposed airport in this area could potentially decrease the quality of local food products, and in addition increase our reliance on imported food. In addition, the Rouge National Urban Park is a wildlife preserve that is located next to the proposed airport. And this proposed airport would need to reduce the amount of species that would be problematic to aviation. And the proposed airport is between the Rouge National Urban Park and the Greenbelt, which could endanger commuters and wildlife. This figure shows the proposed area of the Pickering Airport, and these green dashed lines show the wildlife hazard zone, which, as you can see, is spread out in every single direction from the airport. And these blue lines are the proposed approach surface, which means that any airspace above it needs to be clear and cannot have anything, whether man-made or any natural growth or any type of wildlife, hindering that area, because airplanes need to use that space, which means even more hazardous area for wildlife.
Establishing the Pickering Airport will have a societal impact. There are two main ways it will affect society, the first being regionally. A loss of agricultural land so close to a densely populated city like Toronto will drive the prices of goods up as more will be needed to be imported. Illnesses in the area may also rise as a result of noise pollution and higher levels of greenhouse gases in the area. Secondly, it will affect us globally. Canada's carbon footprint will rise and will ultimately affect how Canada can comply to the Paris Accord Agreement. The airport will also destroy valuable land and natural resources and will disrupt the habitat of many animals in the area.
The other factor we need to look at is the economic impact of building an airport in Pickering, Ontario. One of the immediate effects of building an airport would be the negative impact on the housing market nearby. Due to the noise and air pollution from the traffic entering and leaving the airport, the prices of homes nearby will decrease. Another issue with building the airport would be the significantly higher capital costs to build supporting infrastructure. The estimated $2 billion project in 2004 does not include the hidden costs associated with sustaining an airport. The current Pickering lands have no municipal sewers and is operating on wells and septic systems, which will have to be built prior to beginning the construction of the airport. In addition, to power an airport, significant electricity is required, and with Pickering Nuclear Generating Station expected to shut down in 2024, there's going to be an issue providing sufficient electricity. The solution was to import electricity from Quebec, but this requires building new transmission infrastructure and upgrading existing transmission lines to accommodate new levels of imported electricity. The advancements in technology should also be taken into consideration when gauging the cost of building an airport. Toronto Pearson International Airport houses an advanced storm water management system to control the quantity and quality of storm water leaving the airport, and a communication infrastructure that has redundancy and is resilient, which will need to be built in Pickering. Also, the lack of highways and roads leading to the airport would force the 407, 401, and 412 to be backed up in traffic. New highways and roads need to be built prior to beginning operation of the airport, leading to a larger capital cost. These images are of Toronto Pearson International Airport stormwater facilities and communication service areas, which would need to be built in Pickering, Ontario, to support the new airport.
We believe there is no need to build a whole new facility when there is already an existing infrastructure. The region of Waterloo International Airport has an action plan in place to support the Pearson Airport. This action plan has several stages based upon the annual passengers processed through the Waterloo International Airport. These stages include terminal expansions, runway extensions, and even rail connections. Another issue with Pearson is the lack of riders using public transit, which causes congestion for riders both arriving and leaving the airport. Another project that is currently in progress is the high-speed rail system, which will connect Pearson Airport to Kitchener, Waterloo, and London. This project would make the Waterloo and London airports a viable alternative to Pearson, while allowing for more options for future expansion. Rather than placing an airport east of Toronto, transportation, demographic, and economic trends all point to Hamilton as a better location. Our government should be seeking opportunities to expand on existing infrastructure in areas that are being intensified, as opposed to paving over green space for unnecessary new infrastructure. The Hamilton Airport has also processed over 1 million passengers in 2003, but has declined since due to WestJet moving its hub to Pearson, proving that the airport is currently underused.
Although the Pickering Airport would provide an advantage in controlling air traffic and creating increased jobs in the near future, the disadvantages or the negative impacts of the airport are much higher. Instead of building an airport in the Durham region, providing more resources to the Hamilton International Airport and Waterloo International Airport would assist in offering a viable secondary airport to southern Ontario.